Good morning, everyone. I'm Allison, or as most of you know me as Allie in the BYB community. I've been with RX, I want to say, for the past 4 months. Um, I got into the Sunrise program just for obvious health reasons. I was always the heavier kid growing up through everything that I did. Um, and the one thing that actually got me into just focusing on my health more was a college director. I am a musical theater student. I love performing. It was my passion for as long as I can remember. I had a huge audition, didn't make it, unfortunately. And the director had told me, "You have the talent, but you are so big, you are not going to make it in this industry." And hearing that at 19, kind of messes with you mentally. It's just like, wow, I'm not good enough. So I quit and I hadn't performed for maybe like 10 years. Um, and I said, I have time. I have time to get healthy. It's fine, whatever. I don't really care. But going into 2020, my doctor had told me, "Allison, you might want to start caring because you are pre-diabetic. On top of that, you are now borderline um, type 1 diabetic." So that was kind of an awakening for me. Um, I didn't really know what to do with that. So, I started exercising more, eating healthier, but obviously wasn't going about it the right way because I wasn't losing the weight. I kept just gaining it back every time. So I kind of just was over it and was just feeling hopeless. And that depression when quarantine hit is real. I mean, I'm a social butterfly. I love being around people. So not being able to be with my circle of friends, it did a lot to me. So with that came the stress eating. Fast forwarding to August, Dita Josephine had posted something about the BYB community. So I hit her up, and she gave me a little gist about what the program was about. And as soon as I heard supplements and program, I was like, okay, thank you, but maybe it's not for me. But because she's so persistent, she talked to my mom behind my back and explained the program to her. And my dad had overheard it. And so they said, you know what, let's give this a try. They bought me a clinical pack, and ended up having my entire family do it. So we all did it together, which was a huge motivating point for me because now I had everyone in my house doing it with me. So I had no excuse not to try. Um, Very skeptical that it was going to work. But within the first week and a half, I had lost almost 10 pounds. Um, so I was like, okay, maybe this thing's real. Let's keep going. And then at the end of my first cycle with BYB, I lost 13 pounds. And I felt, that confidence come back. And I just had this drive to just keep working on myself. And so even after the cycle, I had lost an additional 4 or 5 pounds, and people started to notice. So I had ladies hitting me up. I had some of my relatives hitting me up, like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And so I was like, "Well, this is what Sunrise is." I hit up Justin. I was like, "Hey, can you give some presentations to some family members and some friends?" And with that, going into cycle 8, which was my second cycle with BYB, I had brought in 4 ladies of my own, and they were seeing their transformations, and the word just started to spread out like wildfire. And next thing you know, I told Justin, I said, "I guess like I'm kind of an ambassador now." He's like, "Yeah, let's do it." Not really knowing what to expect with RX. But like, so my business kind of just started to unfold before my eyes, just because then I had one person, join the experience. They loved it. They shared it with their friends, and they shared it with their friends. It was like an avalanche at that point. And I said, "Justin, this is crazy." And then slowly but surely, that's when the title advancement started to hit. And I remember you saying a few sessions back that with this business, it's all about being organic and letting everything happen naturally. And that's exactly what's been happening, because most of the time I didn't realize I was up. I was up for title advancements, and it wasn't something that I was focused on. I was focused on my transformation and my ongoing transformation with my ladies, and my parents, and my and all my ladies. So it's just been a wild ride, honestly, Duke. And I'm gonna keep going because that fire is just, it's igniting in me. And I can see it with some of the people that I've brought on as well, that they're continuing to push with me, and I love it.
Wow. That's a drop the mic. And again, as Sheila mentioned, I know when she gave her testimonial a couple of days ago, she had slides and everything. And again, here we put her on on the spot. But if many of you could feel her energy, and I'm not going to quite, maybe do I, should I ask? Let me think if I should have a question. Can I ask? Might as well ask, how many people do you have right now currently on cycle?
I think as of yesterday, I have 11.
11.
Hmm. I have some people who are just doing their own transformations, not on cycle, just so that they can prep themselves for January.
And I heard from Justin, I believe Justin messaged Sheila about stats. And what's amazing is whether you know the numbers or the stats or you don't, the business will kind of grow, right? So what I mean by this is like, oh, and I hope I have everyone's attention here, okay? Because there's sometimes this feeling of, oh, since I don't know the comp plan, I can't get paid. It sounds so petty and weird to say that, but some people have this impression, oh, because I don't know the comp plan well enough, it's like you can't extract the best out of it. But yet, when you hear Ali, right? I'll just call. I guess that's how they call you, right? So I'll call you Ali as well. With Ali, in 4 months, she built herself up director title. And you know what I believe? Some people overthink their own manager run. Some people overthink their own senior manager run. Some people overthink their director run. Why do I say this? I say this out of love. You know what? Maybe because you folk, right? I'm just saying, Allison came, she's like, oh, I went title. She came kind of like, sweet. She was so much more focused on what the people that trusted her are becoming. She focused on them. And you know what I'm saying? Maybe that might be the game changer for some of us here. Some of us here, maybe hitting manager is kicking you in the rear. You've been wanting to hit manager for too long. How about senior manager for too long? Or the last title you hit, you felt like you almost died. You know what I'm talking about? The last title you hit, as I said, Allison looked like, can you imagine that? Okay, I'm just saying, you give a testimonial, I went title, I almost died. Allison like, huh? She's like, I want to know how that happened. But why is there such a big difference in outcome? Seriously? Okay, you all writing this down? There's a difference in priorities. And can I say, if the way Ali hit director seemed easy, you know what I'm going to say? Her priorities made the title look easy. It's what she prioritized. So she has around 11 now. And I might as well ask this: when they come on board, what's your feelings towards them coming on board? Do they come in easy, or do you say you need this in your life? Do you threaten them? I'm just kidding, but
No, like a lot of them, I mean, I think it's natural to be a little skeptical because I mean, me hearing it for the first time, like, this is too good to be true. And so I know a lot of them have hesitation, but I mean, I just talked them up. I said, you know what? Don't doubt yourself. Give yourself a chance to experience this because you won't regret it. I sympathize with them because it's just like it is a commitment. It is a lot going into it, and it could be overwhelming at first. And I let them know like I was overwhelmed, but you know what? I'm going to be there with you the entire time. I just give them that assurance that they're not going to be alone because we have BOB and BOB is amazing. And so I just let them know that you're not going to be alone. We're all here to support you, and you can do it. I think a lot of it too is just helping them build that confidence in themselves to know that they're capable of greatness.
Wow. Dang, I mean, I don't know if I want to add, if I don't even think I should add any more to that. Like if you just hear through her words, you hear what's important to her. And because of what's important to her, you could see how people are joining her. And if you are able to adopt some of those attributes, I mean, that's what creates a movement. And I'll say this, okay, because, I'm assuming there's going to be more titles in the pipeline. No pressure, but don't even think about the titles. Just keep doing what you're doing. The titles are going to come naturally. All right. And so this is what I'll say. So as you know, in the BYB, they call them boss babes, but I will just coin them like transformation leaders. Does that make sense? Um, because there are experienced, knowledgeable people. If they're like the go-to people, like you want to lose 10 pounds, 15 pounds, you want to understand Fresh Start and how it works. Like these are the people that have shown uh, they know what's up. They have proven they know what's up. That to me is what defined Boss Babe. And I told Sheila there's going to be another tier now, because back then when it came to being a boss babe, there was not really much of a concern towards the business or building the business or making income in the business. So the next tier or the next level would be a boss babe that also helps not just in that department, but is also the go-to person when it comes to someone making money. It's like, you want to make $200, $300, just focus on this. This is, and all Ali has to do really is just say, this is what I focus on. This is how I was making $300 a week or whatever the income is. That's all she has to do. Like, there really doesn't need to be a breakdown of volume. She just said, I helped 11 people. I heard the exact number, I believe, from Justin was the stat was 8. Currently she has 11, but I heard it was roughly around 8 that led to a lot of the achievements. 8, not even 10 people at that time. But based on her passion, based on her fire,
that's nice.
based on her passion and based on her fire, I'll tell you, like, obviously people bought a lot of product. I'll add this too. Ate Josephine really thought outside the box when it came to bringing her on board. It seems as though Ate Josephine was like, I'm not going to take no for an answer, so I'm going to take this route.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. And if Ate Josephine did not think out, because this is why I keep telling people, think outside the box. Think outside the box. And so many people are afraid to think outside the box. Just think outside the box and take action.